All right, it looks like we are live. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Logged In Live with WBLS. I am your radio love, Deja Vu, and today we have the honor to hang out with my girl, who is so much fun. We see her as a singer, she is a songwriter, she's an actress, and now she is a TV show host again. So let's talk to my girl, Tamar Braxton.
Hi, I made it. Sorry.
What's been going on with you? Talk to me about your quarantine life, girl. You look fabulous.
Oh, thank you. That's today. I clean up very well, but every other day I'm a mess like everybody else, honey.
Right. Look, I said party on top. I got my little workout pants on the bottom and some flip flops.
Oh, period.
Right? That's how it stays. All right. So talk to us about this new project. We hear that you have To Catch a Beautician, the new TV show that's going to be debuting on the 25th. How did this come about and how can we be down with it?
Okay, let me say something, Deja Vu. It's the best show on television, and everybody knows me for my honesty, and I ain't going to say nothing if it's not the truth. It's the best show on television. It's like To Catch a Predator meets Cheaters meets Botched. Yes. All of that. It's so good. The show came about because the executives at VH1 and Scout created the show with me in mind, and they pitched it to me, and it sounded amazing. I don't know if a lot of people know, but my mom used to do hair when we were younger.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was a kitchen beautician, but then she went back and got her license and became an ethnic specialist. And so with a whole house full of women and girls, we played in each other's hair and did each other's hair all the time. And hair is always something that has been near and dear to each and every one of us. So when this came away, I was like, because I have been in situations before where I have gotten totally jacked up by my stylist or a new stylist or a hairdo that I'm trying to acquire. It has been a lot, right? And so I knew it was time to have a show where everybody can identify and also appreciate our stylists at the same time.
I love it. So wait a minute. Y'all are running up on people because you said it's sort of like Catch a Predator. That's running up on folks. How do the people react when you run up on them? And also, how many crazy hair stories have you heard in the midst of this thing? Did y'all have to turn down some? Because I can remember going to the beauty salon and not having this one had a little perm and I had the cut, the Tony Braxton cut, and they messed the whole thing up. And I was so mad. I was scared to say something, Tamar.
And that's the point. That's the whole point. So the clients come to us because they are afraid to tell the stylist at the time. Not all of them. Some of them has, told the stylist and they totally deny it and they ain't here for it. But the ones that really wanted to tell them, we help them tell them, and this is our way. They come and tell us their problem and what happened to their hair. We find the stylist. They come in the salon because they think they're having a session with Johnny Wright, celebrity hairstylist, and they do have it, but just not yet.
Right.
So they don't know that I'm there, and I come busting up the whole thing, and I'm like, hey, excuse me, you want to talk about what happened to your hair? And so the client gets the chance to confront the stylist who jacked them up, and then either the stylist offer an apology, or they totally deny it, or they're like, oh girl, I did not do that, and that's not what happened. And then Johnny Wright gives them an opportunity to go through his boot camp and show them some tips and things, so it just doesn't happen again to the stylist. And then the stylist has a chance to redeem themselves.
I like that. So how did you link up with Johnny? I mean, I know he's the stylist to the stars and everything, but what made you pick him out of all the other stylists that were around?
Well, he felt right. He came for a chem test with me, and we have a lot of mutual good friends. So I already knew he was a good person.
Did you did your hair before? You guys did this?
I cannot afford him. Sorry.
Sitting in Whatever. Tamar, you big bang. Get out of here.
She don't do that, girl. She don't do that. She ain't doing that. But the girls who can, he's so amazing. Okay, you get a weave like no other, right? And you come like no other, like Michelle. And if she already still have her hair after him doing it for 8 years, I'm here for it. Okay, great. Not my point. So they have a chance to go through his boot camp, and you asked me, how was it working with him? He's amazing. It's so funny because he's a Kiki like me. He's just packaged differently. But he says what needs to be said, just like I do.
I can't wait to see y'all on the screen. All right, so we're talking hairstyles. I said I had the Tony Braxton shortcut, your sister's cut back in the day. What was one of your favorite cuts back in the day? Did you do the asymmetrical, the Jerry? What was one of your favorite styles?
I never had a Jerry curl. I was just like,
what? Where you been?
I never had a Jerry curl.
You're lucky.
So I am. That was Jerry curl. But my favorite hairstyle, it wasn't long ago. When I cut all my hair off, it would be my favorite hairstyle.
So let me tell you, I had to cut my locks off because of alopecia issues, but you had already cut yours, and I think some other people, and it just was beautiful. And the way you just you glowed with it, really.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I really did feel free, and it was a beautiful, well-needed time for me to fall in love with myself, and I did just that. And that's why I want to go back, because all this, I ain't got time.
How have you been maintaining throughout the quarantine? I know you've been working on the show and everything. Was this all packaged up prior to, or did you guys do some in the middle of the quarantine madness?
No, I have a green screen in my living room right now because we wasn't finished, you know, doing the interviews and editing and whatnot. But I had these braids in my hair. I got my braids maybe March 8th, and I was going on my birthday vacation. And the coronavirus, just like everything, it shut my birthday and canceled it and my vacation as well. So I was sitting here in quarantine, thank God, with braids, but I left them in way too long. And I just put this little Gilda on 3 days ago.
Not the name for Gilda. Okay, we got it. All right, so let me ask you, being in quarantine, you had to do the stuff with the TV show. How has it affected you as a creative with your music? Because I've been asking a lot of folks, have you been able to function, or were you just kind of like overwhelmed? How did it work?
For me, right before quarantine, I did a song for the True to the Game soundtrack called Crazy Kind of Love, and I really, really loved it. And it really made me fall in love with music all over again because, you know, I wasn't here for no type of music.
What happened?
I wasn't. Well, you know, I was after Bluebird of Happiness, my last album, you know, I was going through a divorce. And it was traumatic for me. And, you know, Vince was my manager and it was all intertwined. And I was just like, psych, I can't. You know what I mean? I can't make it. No, thank you. And it was a big turnoff for me. But, you know, when I heard that song, I fell in love with music all over again. And I started to create right before quarantine. So I had the blessing of being able to still write while I'm at home and have that bug in my ear.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right. So love life. We've been seeing you all in love with your booski and everything. How is that? Because they say that this quarantine will test the bounds of the relationship when you're stuck with somebody 24 hours a day. How is Dave?
Yep. I'm being tested today.
See, this is why I love Tamar. Tamar ain't gonna hold nothing back. When I tell you, this is gonna give you what's real. I love it. This is
Absolutely. Things have gotten really petty around here. I'm not cleaning the kitchen no more by myself. I am not the maid. You working all day. I'm working all day. There's dishes in the sink. I did it last.
Come on.
It's your turn. Okay. All right.
I love it. Wait a minute. Okay, so what's the thing you've been cooking over and over? Has there been any repetitive stuff with the cooking? I'm finding that I'm liking to try new recipes since I'm home, although it is a lot of work, which is why I don't cook anyway. But
right,
I'm kind of vibing with it. What about you?
Well, you know, before I decided to become a vegan in quarantine, because I had to do something, because everything, I was eating everything and nothing was off limits, right?
Right, me too.
And, yeah, like I'm like maybe a few pounds away from what I was when I delivered Logan. Like, stop, Tamar. Like, it's enough. Right. So, you know, now I'm trying to be a little bit more healthier. You know, I had a headache maybe like 3 weeks ago that I could not get rid of, and I checked my blood pressure and it was out of control. And I don't have blood pressure. Girl. It's just so, I just say this for all the listeners, like, be very careful about what you're putting in your mouth and stuff, everybody. We're not moving around the way we would normally move around. So we got to make healthier choices so we don't kill ourselves in quarantine.
Absolutely, girl. Now, if I could just put that into practice, okay?
But you got to make a choice. You got to make a choice. You know, I decided that I would have one cheat day a week because you got to live.
You got
to slow that down just a little bit.
Yeah, I know, because I was like, I've been in these little sweatpants, the little gym pants. I ain't put on no jeans, Tamar. I don't know what this waist looking like when I get out of quarantine. Girl, it's going to be scary.
And I'm going to tell you from experience, step away from the jeans. It's not good for you. It's not good for your mental.
You say step away.
Don't do it. It's not good for your mental. It's real good. And if you really want to diet, put the jeans on, okay? And go.
Girl.
and you will, start eating right.
I'm gonna need a therapy session after putting them, trying to pull them up, and that's when you get the therapy mental. Then we come over to you guys and get the beautician style tips as well.
Absolutely.
Have you learned any tricks from Johnny in watching the process?
How do you not learn from Johnny Wright? So, I'm in the in-between stage underneath all of this, right? Mm-hmm. And that's another reason why I want to cut my hair off, because it's a lot. Like, I didn't cut my hair off to have this kind of freedom to go right back to wigs and weaves. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. But what I did learn is to keep my hair hydrated. Okay. Yes, the juicier and juicier it is, the more healthier it appears to be. And also, I just want to tell everybody, all my saints on here. Okay. Y'all see my edges? See how they back? Don't pray for me. Don't pray for me no more. They back. But after the show on Tuesday, go to my Tamar Takes page, baby. I got you. Now I'm praying for y'all. Come on after the show. Boom, shakalaka. It's going to change your life. What I got for you going to change your life.
You are a mess, Tamar. I love it. All right. So we know that the show To Catch a Beautician with Tamar, Braxton, and Johnny Wright will premiere on May 25th. Yeah. What are we looking like with music? And what's the first thing you want to do post-pandemic, taking a trip? Where do you want to go? What is it looking like?
Well, I'm going to uncancel my birthday trip. And I'm going to go on my birthday trip. But I'm definitely going to jump right back into, the studio and start recording. Yeah. I would love to do shows. I don't know what that looks like now, because it's one of my favorite things to do is have live performances. But I guess the music will be ready for when it's time.
Absolutely. And we'll be waiting. And of course, we'll be playing all your songs that we have in stack already. So when you come back with this new, we'll be ready for you, girl.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for stopping by.
Sorry I took so long, y'all. I am not tech savvy. That is not the spirit of Tamar.
It is all good, girl. So thank you for hitting us up. Y'all make sure you check out To Catch a Beautician May 25th. This has been another edition of Logged In Live. Shouts to Tamar Braxton.
Don't miss this show now. Don't miss your life. It's amazing.